Colt McCoy is a mensch. He's an awesome guy, and he is with us right now as he
You
battles.
got the boring old guy here. You talk to the cool guys.
I don't know. I still think Colt McCoy is a needle mover and a fun guy myself because people love you. Like it started maybe with just your name and the fact that you played at Texas, and then your style of play kind of I think won people over. But still to this day, you've got a massive following, and here you are working your way back to health. First of all, how you feeling?
I'm doing better. You know, these 2 days were really good for me. I didn't know how I was going to go, really. I just wanted to get out and move around and compete. And, you know, I'm pleased with how these 2 days have gone. So, yeah, from that standpoint, I'm getting a lot of confidence.
Can you go into the adversity of how it went last year? Opportunity comes, the injury seemingly almost right away, setbacks after surgery and the like. How tough has that been? I think we read a headline, we read a story, and it's oh, that's something going to happen. But you're living that. How
Yeah.
frustrating was that? How tough was it?
It's hard. You know, injuries are part of the game. You hate them, but mine was kind of a fluke deal. And then, you know, it took a while to get healthy. We had some setbacks, 3 surgeries. You know, those anytime you do that and go through it, man, it's just a grind.
Yeah.
And laid up on the couch and non-weight bearing forever, and don't get to go through OTAs. And you know, but you try to be around and helpful. You got a young guy, you want to help and you know let him ask questions that you know maybe he didn't want to ask the coach. And you know, so I'm glad I was around in OTAs. I wanted to play, but I couldn't. And you know, I think now it's I'm at the point where I'm able to get out there and move around and play. I think I'll get more of a workload as we go. But I certainly don't take for granted being able to get out there. I mean, yesterday was the first day I played real football in a while, so that was fun.
Colt McCoy on Grant and Danny. How do you view in like private moments when you're at home with the wife and the family, like your career to this point in that it seems like every time you get an opportunity, you could say it's bad luck or it's football, but you get hurt or something happens. People forget 2014 when you, Robert, and Kirk were on this carousel before Cousins took off and ended up being a premium player. You ended the year the starter before that injury, beat the Cowboys, and it just seems like whenever you get those ops, something happens.
Yeah.
How do you make that okay in your own mind?
Yeah, I mean, I don't step on the field worried about getting hurt. I think that's first and foremost. I've never dealt with injuries like I have probably over the last 4 years. I was never hurt in college till the last game. You know, played a lot of football, and my coaches keep reminding me that I'm not getting off the field because of the way I've played. You know, I've played well. It's just I got to stay healthy. So I think staying upright is key. And trust me, I've laid in bed at night, figuring out why, what's the deal? Like, am I doing something wrong? And I don't think anybody has any answers. I think, for me, I train, I work hard, I do everything that I'm asked to do and then some, and I promise you I'm going to catch a break at some point.
Here's kind of, I think, the assessment on the outside. I'll speak for myself on you, and I want you to have just an opportunity to critique it, tell me where I'm right or wrong. I've always said with you, I think you would put up a ton of yards and a ton of points, and I think the offense would hum. I think you can run Jay's offense. I would say you're a risk taker, so you might turn the ball over more than a guy who's a game manager, but you're going to make more plays. I think Doxson benefits when you're on the field. Vernon Davis had the long touchdown. Is that profile on you right? What's fair, what's not? Where you say, yeah, he might maybe keep both teams in the game, but your offense is going to hum. Is that fair or no?
I think naturally I'm more of a risk taker on the field. I like to give guys opportunities.
Where's that come from?
I think it's like a mentality. I think Jay and Kevin have been in my ear of trying to understand when the time to take a shot is and when the time is not to take a shot, understanding situational football. And I completely, I win plays based off my mental approach. And I understand what I'm doing and what they're doing and what we were trying to accomplish. I just naturally, I like to give guys a chance to make plays. I think they play harder. I think they play fast. I think they have fun. I think that when they're running their routes, they think every time I'm out here, if I get a one-on-one matchup, I may get the rock. At the same time, I need to dial it in a little bit. Understand, like, hey, when's the 50-50 ball good? When's the time to check down to CT and get 3? And working on that.
Colt McCoy with us here on Grant and Danny. You mentioned the kid who wants to ask questions in the room. That's something I think a lot of people can't really relate to. The NFL is cutthroat. You're always in the process of being replaced. Teams, that's not just you, that's everybody, right? The draft happens and new players come in. How do you embrace that role while still competing? I think that's a tough ask, right? You obviously want to be a nice person. Of course, you'll answer questions to a young teammate to help them set up in the league, but at the same time, you want the job too, right? I mean, how does that go? That's a tough ask, I think.
Well, I've had, when I was a rookie, I had Jake Delhomme. He was unbelievable. From his approach, we competed. I eventually played, but he was amazing, from just his understanding of the game. And I don't ever want to cold shoulder anybody. People have done so much for me in this league that and it's also just not part of my DNA. Like I'm gonna help whoever. I told our group, I think we have a good room. Hey, look, we're all competing. When you're on the field, go make plays. That's what it's about. That's what this league is about. Coach will figure out who's the best guy, who gives us the best chance to win. Don't worry about that. So if Dwayne comes to me for a question or has, what did you see? Bro, I mean, that's a time for our football team to get better.
You had some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's how I see it. I mean, I've been around long enough. I've had so much help from coaches and players throughout my career. Now, in saying that, I'm definitely confident in my game and what I'm doing. I'm not holding back any secrets to anybody. I just want to go win.
You've had some time, I was going to say, in Jay Gruden's offense now. There's got to be some comfort there, right? I know there's been some tweaks, and whether it was Sean calling the plays or kind of Kevin O'Connell's influence now, but does it feel kind of second nature to you, where it's there's no thinking anymore? You just kind of have it in tune, and does that give you a leg up? You feel like?
Yeah, I mean, missing the springs, you don't ever want to do that, but I do have a good understanding of what we want to accomplish, how it's supposed to be executed and run. I didn't lose that over this break, but for me, I think. Right now, what I'm looking at and catching up on is I think we have the best group of young wideouts that I think maybe in 10 years I've ever had a chance to work with. And a couple of those guys are going to have to, separate themselves to help our football team. And so these 2 days I've been, looking at them, studying them on tape. What do their routes look like when they're not getting the football? Are they winning? Throwing some one-on-ones, standing behind the play when I'm not in, and even the ball's going over here. I'm watching Cam Sims. What's his route look like? If I needed to come back here, is he winning? And I tell you what, man, those guys are working hard. Ike has done a great job with them. They're fast. They separate. And that 2 days, that's I think what I need to catch up on the most is understanding leverage. How's he going to break this guy down? How's he going to create? Is he going to take it a yard, further if the guy's on his hip, or is he going to cut it off short? Those are small little details that, me playing so long, I got to find those windows and how they're, again, giving these guys a chance. What does it look like? So I've been very impressed from that standpoint. And, again, it's been a long time since I've played football, but it feels so good to be back out there.
Colt McCoy, final moment left here on Grant and Danny. I don't want to go all Barbara Walters on you here before we let you go. You get drafted by the Browns. I wouldn't wish that on a guy that stole my girlfriend, right? At that time, there was no good coming from that as a quarterback. And you look back at your career now at 32. Do you view this as I need one more shot, before it's all said and done when you look back to feel like I had my chance? Or if the rest of your career is you have this competition, you're back up here, you get to play a few more games the next few years, whatever it is, are you at peace with that? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, for
you
me,
came out as a second-round pick at that college career, and I'm wondering, mentally, a few years from now, how you'll look at this ride if you don't get another crack at it.
Yeah, I'll be fine, man. But my approach is that I have great coaches. I've been here for a while. I know what Jay's going to call before he calls it, and I know I can play. And it's just a matter of putting all that out there, and if I get an opportunity, I feel completely confident in that. I feel confident in our guys, and yes, I want that, and I know that I can handle that. I've had opportunity to watch guys like Alex, to watch Kirk, to watch Jake Delhomme, to watch Kaepernick when I was in San Francisco. I know what it looks like to be a successful quarterback on a successful team, and do I want that? Of course. And I'll work towards that every day. I just got to stay healthy. And that's kind of my approach right now. I think, it changes. Early on in your career, you're just want to go ball out. You want to go play, you run around. I think half my picks in the league were to like Palomalu and Ed Reed. I mean, I grew up with those guys.
Yeah.
So
Enjoy that.
now I've sort of dialed it in. I've paid attention, been a backup for a while here, but all the while helping whoever the starter was, getting a feel for Kevin and Jay and Bill, and understanding schemes and calls and protections. I just, if I didn't think I could do it, I'd have left. And right now I just feel very confident in our group of guys, and I think the key right now is there is an urgency from a defensive standpoint and from an offensive standpoint from the veterans on this team that understand, man, our division's tough. We play a tough schedule every year. We just haven't lived up to what we should be, to our standard. Got to stay healthy first across the board, but I do believe in what we're doing, in our philosophy, no matter what anybody thinks. Our group is dialed in, and it's been great. This spring I spent a lot of time just studying, watching defenses, watching coverages, talking to Manusk, talking to Rob. I was with Rob in Cleveland. Those guys are just a wealth of knowledge, so seeing it from their point of view, understanding what we're trying to be. I mean, dude, we got Geis, we got AP. Are we going to be a two-back team? Are we going to spread them out? Like, what's our – every year it's a little bit different. So just being out here, playing ball, watching guys compete, working with different players, this time is important. I don't want to miss a rep, and I feel really good.
Awesome to talk to you, man. This is great to catch up. Good luck to you, Cole. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, dude. Thank
Colt McCoy, Redskins quarterback.